Democracy 3 on the PC. It's being played on my tablet, my Winbook tablet PC with 1 gigabyte of RAM. This is it's not a touchscreen friendly game, but it's a mouse friendly game. We only use the keyboard for saving our games, for coming up with names with which to save our games. I want to show you this. We've almost, see the deficit right here? We knocked the deficit in half from the previous quarter, and we've reduced the deficit by, let's say it was this big. I want to say the deficit was about 130 billion, so we've knocked the deficit square on its butt. 3/4 of the deficit has been reduced. We are going Andrew Jackson up in this piece without raising racial tensions. So that's one better than him in that sense. Global economy will not be able to bail us out. It has been tanking ever since I got elected. So, even though the deficit's gone down a bit, significantly actually, we're going to have to find another way to see what we can do here. GDP continues to dive. Airline tax and the capital gains taxes are not helping, obviously, as you would expect. Election report, again, we've gone up a bit. Security briefing. Ineffective, of course. Intelligence services. Well, we can't do much of a threat assessment anymore because we've cut the funding. We'll talk about that later. Let's see. Health. Maybe it's gone down a little bit. Crime continues to go down. Actually, let me check on one other thing. Intelligence services. So we still can't afford to disarm the cops. We'll worry about that later. GDP. Poverty dipped a little bit. Education continues to go up, so it's paying off. Cabinet report. So we're going to have a maximum of 44 political capital in the next turn, because we're going to get 22. So we can afford to spend 9 more political capital to get the maximum. Yeah, we're not getting as much political capital as we need. But I guess the ceiling was 50. So until I get a better cabinet or a better economy, it's probably not going to go up from there. In democracy, everyone has the right to be represented, even the jerks. Crick's pad. What's going on? The environmentalists are digging me now. Probably because we've reduced pollution and CO2 emissions quite a bit, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Where's my, focus groups? Here we go. Voter type, so we went up among liberals again. So we're right back to where the liberals continues to trend upward despite taking that hit because of the alcohol tax. Or excuse me, the alcohol law. Right around here. The alcohol law caused our poll numbers among liberals to dip. Conservatives are really digging me. My numbers have gone up steadily amongst conservatives since I started. So, has this ever happened in the history of America? My numbers among liberals and conservatives have gone up substantially since I got elected. Despite significantly reducing military spending in the process, by the way. That was the big hit to conservatives. And I think the big thing, for me, was the prison thing. When I reformed the prisons to massively increase rehabilitation funding, conservatives and liberals loved that. I'll mention that in just a second. Where are my prisons? Crime. So where are those prisons? Right around here. Law and order. So we massively increased funding towards prisons, towards rehabilitation. Look at how it's paid off. We spent a bunch of extra money on extensive rehabilitation. So we had a big expenditure right off the bat. Crime has gone down as a result. And because we also combined this with our community policing initiative. So when we did that, we significantly reduced crime over time, so our spending on prisons has gone way down. We also managed to eliminate private prisons in the process. I should mention that. Let's see. So, I think we were spending right around here, right around the midway level. Conservatives and liberals loved it. And we reduced crime in the process. And we reduced unemployment, too. So that, combined with the community policing initiative we did right here, significantly reduced crime since I've been elected. Straight down since I got elected. because the crime was really bad when I got elected, so I committed to it by committing towards that relatively free community policing policy that's already paid off, and it's definitely paid off. So I found a way forward in this game with respect to crime by reducing it in ways that both liberals and conservatives appreciate, but you had to pay up front for that prison funding to get that extensive rehab funding in effect. Like I said, helping brothers get degrees in jail has paid off. So this game has a pretty straight line solution for the crime problem, without increasing racial tension, without making the death penalty more expansive, without giving cops submachine guns. In fact, that's probably the next thing I'm going to end up doing eventually, is it will wind up reducing the number. I think we've already reduced the number of guns the cops are carrying. Armed police. Whoop whoop. We still have widespread police armament. We could lower it, but it won't save us that much money. See, we can cut it in half. It won't save us that much money, but crime continues to go down, which is the point. Cost history. It's gone down a bit because crime has gone down. Let's see. Not very popular with voters, obviously, but neither is crime. Who likes crime? So we can lower it later, but again, we've got crime under control now, so we can focus on other things, like giving cops fewer guns, basically, spending less money on arming the police. Because in this game, if you don't need guns, that we're basically doing it Japanese style. We have plenty of cops on the beat right here. Plenty of cops on the beat, but we don't need as many guns. By the way, cops reduce unemployment a little bit. They also significantly reduce antisocial behavior. That's the big thing. But community policing has done that too. So there you go. Liberals, where are the liberals? Liberals don't seem to care about how large the police force is, which I think is interesting. Conservatives really like the police force, but liberals don't seem to care one way or the other, so long as they're not armed. And let me show you that in a second. Violent crime. Armed police. Liberals do not like armed police. They're fine with cops, but they do not like armed police in this game. So if you disarm the police by reducing them to specialists, SWAT, I guess. So if you reduce the number of armed police, but you maintain the same number of police, they're okay with that. You can increase the number of police if you want. The idea is that it's Japanese style, I guess. More cops on the beat, fewer guns. So you get the benefits of having that police presence without the negatives of having them being armed, as you can see based on how this game measures those metrics. Okay, so we'll deal with that later. I have significantly reduced the deficit, like I said, so we might be able to slowly eke out a surplus at some point. But for that, I think at some point we're gonna need the economy to grow. There's no other way to get around that. You need the economy to grow. So that's gonna get us out of this debt spiral, I want to say, because I've played the game both ways. I want to say I played the game this way by using military spending as a pool of money to pay for other things we needed, like state employees, like schooling, the space program. And I've also tried to slashing and burning taxes all over the place, and that caused a debt spiral. So you can't just play cheap and easy. You gotta tweak it. You can't just slash and burn with you can't go completely libertarian in this game. It doesn't work. If you can find a way to go libertarian in this game, record it, because I want to see all the possible. I know the failure states, obviously. So I'm very curious to know what all the variations that are possible. Because you can turn this country into a socialist paradise if you want. Maybe not America, but there are other countries you can use, like Canada, the UK, Australia. I think there's one. I think you can do France and Germany in this game. So if you want to build your socialist paradise, if you want to build your mixed hybrid economy into a socialist paradise, go right ahead. They even have the hammer and sickle on the symbol. In fact, let me show you that. If Thomas Edison invented the electric light today, Dan Rather reported on CBS News the candle making industry threatened. Newt Gingrich. By the way, how are those gas prices doing, Newt? Just saying. That's about as petty as I'll be today. During this video, anyway. Let's see. I have a very short tolerance for people who predict $4 gas just because we don't have a pipeline. We're not going to talk about that. Let's see. We'll get to that. In fact, oil demand oil supply did pretty well back about 5 or 6 years ago. Because oil companies got pretty efficient about, gathering oil from their existing reserves. So you didn't really need to expand them. It was weird. I want to read up on that. Okay, so where's our next pool of money going to come from? Oh yeah, I forgot to show you my stats. Focus group, policies, changes. Here we go. Health has gone up. Education's gone up. Crime has gone way down. That's violent crime, not as much, but significantly. Crime's gone way down. Poverty's gone down. Happy to see that. Equality has gone way up. Not complaining about that because poverty's gone down, so I'm not as worried about that. We're not trying to go North Korea style here, are we? Even North Korea has inequality problems, to be honest. Here's the environment's gone way up. The working week, people are more productive, but there was a stress problem a while ago. I'll show you that a bit later. Tech has gone up. That is going to help our economy immensely. And remember, as I mentioned in my previous video, tech is an unqualified good in this game. It is an unqualified force of good in this game. I find it amazing. The technology is basically considered a positive value in every way. Look at all the knock-on effects here. I sound like a Brit when I say that, right? So basically it makes everyone better. Technology makes everything better in this game. So never mind about, antisocial behavior, which people consider to be the alternative effect. Car usage has gone down, so the environmentalists love that. Productivity has gone way up. Way up. I'm shocked that productivity has gone so far up. How are wages, by the way? Wages have gone down. So productivity is way up, but wages have gone down. Yep. Productivity has gone up a little bit more than wages have. Unemployment's gone up. Unemployment's been steadily going up since I got elected. And unfortunately, when I increased in fact, I want to say when I slashed government spending, that was the kicker. That kicked off this increase in unemployment, which I thought was kind of amusing. CO2 emissions are down because of the crappy economy. Air travel is way down now because of that airline tax, I want to say, so it's going to continue to go down. Let's see. We are getting income from the airline tax, obviously. In fact, where is that? Yep, we're getting income from that airline tax. But air travel's down, so it's going to go down eventually. Immigration's way up, 23% since look at that spike. Just went way the heck up. So increase the cost of citizenship tests, obviously. Increases the use of state health services, apparently. Racial tensions way down since I got elected, mostly because of this, the Racial Discrimination Act. The community policing helped. It took about a year to go into effect. But the Racial Discrimination Act dropped racial tensions right away. Of course, immigration might bring it back up. Yeah, it takes a couple of years, but eventually increases racial tensions. Interesting to see what the game allows you to do for that. Did I decrease foreign spending? I thought I decreased foreign aid. I did. I decreased it a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. There it is. Decreased it a bit. I thought I decreased it more than that, actually. GDP it's been going way down. Commensurate with high earnings, and believe it or not. So apparently if you want your GDP to grow, I guess you have to increase the number of high earners. Luxury goods tax and the capital gains tax are the big hits there. GDP, straight down since I got elected. What are you going to do? Private health care has gone down because of the crappy economy. This has been the big hit to homelessness. Private housing went way down because of rent controls. So I have to find another way to get that back because it increased equality a lot. Right around, of course, the toll roads probably help. Luxury goods tax. So yeah, so equality's gone up for those reasons. But yeah, those rent controls were a big hit. Traffic congestion's down. Alcohol consumption's down. Tobacco use is down. More than I expected, mainly because of the GDP, I guess. Alcohol consumption. Well, that will go down significantly in the next couple of quarters, so we'll see how that goes. So that's going to decrease the amount of money we're wasting on fighting alcohol abuse. Tourism's down because of the airline tax. So it's going up because of the border controls, but it's going back down because of the airline tax. So eventually that's going to squeeze out all the money we're going to get out of that's going to squeeze down to a lower value unless the economy grows. Wages are down, of course. I mean, they've been going down for a while, actually, even before I lower the border control policies. Compass. So we're moving more liberal, and we're more capitalist than socialist. Which kind of surprises me, but we're trending more liberal. Okay, so we have enough political capital to spend maybe 9 points. Your points are generated by loyal members of your cabinet. Okay. Fine. So like when you fire someone, you're willing to take that hit. That's the problem. Some of these people could be a drag, obviously. So you can't get much more political capital out of these guys. You probably got to fire one of these dudes. Anywho. Remember, we're halfway through our term. Eventually stuff gets messed up. Okay, where's our next source of money? So what? I have a dream that for my we all know the Dr. King's line. Let's see. The religious symbols in schools. It's first for us to introduce a law to ban the wearing of religious symbols in state schools by students. What? Well, that's pretty aggressive. This will include wearing the hijab by female Muslim students and the wearing of a cross by Christian students. Schools place children learn not to display religious allegiance. People are free to dress how they like in churches and mosques, not in state schools. Reject the bans on discrimination against Muslims. That's it? Or reject the ban anyway. I'm like, that seemed kind of harsh. Is that a French thing? We're gonna do the French thing and say, you can't wear that stuff in state schools. That seems kind of weird. So I don't know if that got us anything. What are the symbols? So that'll cost us amongst some people, I think. Liberals and environmentalists seem to like that. Here we go. Liberals didn't like that. That's interesting. We took a hit for that. Okay, so again, they didn't like that. Okay, wasn't aware of such a strong thing. So how can I see the effect on just this religious symbols policy? Well, I'll probably increase my standing with conservatives, though. No, they didn't seem to care. Huh. So basically, it was a knock to the liberals. By not siding, I guess in this game, liberals are more about not being religious. Here we go. So, if the religious were okay with that. So that was the only reason it existed, was that particular law. Okay, fine. We got a couple of cabinet members who are religious, so I guess that counts. I don't know. Are we enlightened centrists? Is that what we're trying to do here? Okay, no, wait. Who's more foolish? The fool or the fool who follows him? Ben Kenobi. Okay. Taxes? Kind of running out of ideas for taxes, though. I'll be the first to admit that. Yeah, we're going to spend too much political capital on that. Mansion tax. Too much political capital. Law and order. Internet censorship. Nope. Wiretapping. Everyone's favorite form of government surveillance. Fuel efficiency standards. How about we just leave everything as is? We'll accept the lower. We'll accept the lower. We probably have to raise one of these taxes. We'll accept the lower deficit for now, and see if we can increase one of these taxes. Economy. Which tax do we want to increase? Taxes. I got tobacco tax. Let's see. I got an airline tax already. Hybrid cars initiative. That's a subsidy, actually. Corporate tax. Which will kill your GDP, but if you lower it, if you raise it, you're going to eat up most of your capital. What's an easy way to spend some political capital? That's the part I'm not aware of. I can fire somebody. That might be a good idea. So I'm going to fire you because you're the weakest link. So now, see, everyone else's political capital dropped. So let's hire a dude. In this case, we're going to hire a lady. We need a new tax advisor. That's going to be you. You're loyal, so you'll give me a lot more political capital. Who else wants it? Who wants to be a tax minister? Who wants to be Steve Mnuchin? Not you. You suck. Okay, so Katy Perry, you've been hired. So yeah, we lost a bunch of political capital here, but we'll get a maximum of 44. Okay. So I don't know if that was worth it. We'll see if it makes a difference, because we lost a lot simply by doing that. How about you? We can fire you. Okay. See, she's loyal. So we can fire you. That'll cost us amongst the capitalists, obviously. So he wants to be a foreign policy minister. You? No, you're not very good. Desiree, foreign policy. Yeah, she can do. Foreign policy, Diane Rogers. Probably end up hiring her. Foreign policy, liberal environmentalists. Let's see. Liberal capitalist. Ethical capitalist, I guess. Let's see. Farmers and parents. Foreign policy, we said. So it's probably going to be Kathy Cook. Okay, so we're hiring Kathy Cook, the liberal capitalist. That might increase our standing amongst the capitalists, actually. Okay, so we're going to get 46. Where our maximum is 44, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so everyone else dropped like a rock. That's your law and order cabinet. But we got... See? As soon as I hire someone else, look at our political capital just plummets like that. So that wasn't very helpful. Probably not supposed to do that. So we'll save our game. So we'll get enough political capital to do that. Couldn't really afford to do anything really major. Okay, so we'll save the game here. Actually, let me check on that thing. Where's my polls? Compass. This is Q8 then? Again? I thought I already did Q8. Let me do a quick check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're doing Q9. Okay. So we'll see how it goes. Click, click. Q9. And we'll drop this one. Click. Q9. So we'll take a peek and see what happens on the next turn. Deficit might go down a tiny bit. I doubt we're going to get a surplus if we get a massive push ahead to our economy. Like to return to government. Organized crime. I was afraid of that. Immigration scandal, of course. Random check. The food packaging industry has found a shocking number of people doing low-paid jobs without work permits. Our thousands of immigration are outraged. The government has been able to control our borders. The unemployment angering that foreigners are taking their jobs. The media are running strongly worded editorials about the government's immigration policy. I knew it was going to happen. GDP has gone down. Unemployment has gone up. Crime has gone up. Wow. Bang. Of course, this is because of the organized crime. Call it. Went right back to pre-election levels. How you like that? Figures. Friggin' figures, man. Game is trying to hose you. This game is totally trying to hose me. Okay, so simplest is the count of percentage of population on for game. So unemployment goes up. GDP going down. Okay, new situations developed. Organized crime. We have the research, and they were causing serious problems, including high levels of street crime, violent crime, supplying drugs and guns. Where did this come from? Causes. We have plenty of foreign police. So basically, they just cropped up out of nowhere. Figures. This freaking game. And I plunged in the polls. That made a really nasty speech. I said something politically incorrect, obviously. Let's see. Yep. So basically, the organized crime kicked us square in the groin. Now the middle income earnings are dipping like a rock. So let me do a trick here. I'm gonna do a thing, because that just straight up came out of nowhere, and that ticked me off. Right here, just threw in something special, threw a wrinkle into the mix. So how about this? How about I don't fire those other two people? How much more do I get from these people, by the way? Maximum is 38 because of my low poll numbers, obviously. So I'm going to reload a game save. I'm going to do a quick check of something, because this is some BS. I'm trying to figure out how to play this game. If we're going to keep throwing this crap in my face, it's not going to go very well. Okay, enjoying lobbyist hospitality. Find that amusing. Okay, so let's see how we do in the next turn without making any changes whatsoever. We're not going to make any changes to our, not the far, the law and order minister. So I already saved my game. Oh yeah, I loaded the wrong turn. Watch this. Fire. Want a new law and order minister. Law and order, law and order, law and order. You're not very good. She's a lot better. She's a liberal environmentalist who loves law and order. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so we're going to get 44 max. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Next. Calculating votes, preparing sound bites, avoiding real debates, turning a blind eye to corporate tax avoidance. Organized crime. Boom. Regular as clockwork. So let's do something different. And now we're down to 15%, huh? Look at that, down to 15%. Look at that. So basically organized crime is the reason why. Fired a bunch of people and organized crime took its place, I guess. Immigration scandal, of course. Okay, watch this. Load it up. We're going to go back another quarter here to quarter 8. So I'm not going to make any other changes, but the immigration scandal is probably still going to take place. If this is the game implying that the immigration scandal caused the organized crime to grow, we're going to see what's going on in just a second. Okay, crime is manageable. You didn't read what John Maynard Keynes said there, so go back and rewind if you want to see that. Next. Briefing against colleagues, calculating unknown unknowns, fudging unemployment figures, and enjoying the lobbyist hospitality. Ban same-sex marriage. Oh, polls do not look good, but our numbers went up. What counts, I guess. Okay, liberals, environmentalists love us. Let's do a quick check. We could try to put a tamp on immigration. We'll see how that goes. Spend some political capital on that. Next order of business. Ban same-sex marriage. It's crazy to allow this travesty of religious ceremony to take place. By standing and doing the right thing, we're silently condoning the practice. Allow marriages. There are no good reasons to ban such marriages. This is basically liberals. The liberals are going to love us. Conservatives are going to hate us. So I guess it's a liberal conservative binary choice, I guess. Warriors of Gaia are, whoops. I guess they decided to increase their numbers. Are they going to shoot up SUVs or something? Okay, let me put it to you this way. I'm not a revengeful person. Which Bush? Don't just say George Bush. It's not specific enough. You might have been talking about the kid, not about his father. Okay, throw them in the prisons and destroy them. Vladimir Putin. Let's spend some of this political capital on... Not you. Let's spend some of this political capital on getting the borders in place. So we're going to raise... Yeah, that's going to cost us some political capital. Okay. Watch what happens. I'm going to leave that alone. So what do we want to spend this political capital on? Because the deficit's really low. So we can invest in something that'll give us some money down the line. Crime. Need something with rated law and order. Yeah, that's going to cost us too much. Police drones. Yeah, law and order stuff is too expensive. We can't do any of this crap. Free eye tests. School meals. Healthcare vouchers are too politically expensive. School tax credits. These are too expensive. Health tax credits. Health food subsidies. Mortgage tax relief. That's way too costly politically. These are way too costly politically. Health food subsidies. Can't legalize anything yet. Junk food tax. We'll implement that. Won't cost us that much. Increase our health and increase the earnings of the poor. That won't be too bad. We'll keep it manageable. Alright. So we're going next. So we'll get some of our political capital back in the next turn. Let's see if the organized crime kicks in. Yep, as expected. But the poll numbers aren't as bad. What's the deal with the crime here? Deficit's gone down. Yep, expenditures went down. Why? Don't know what went down so much. The military spending went down? Not much. Our expenditures went down apparently. Don't know why, but maybe it was crime related. But of course now the crime's back up again. We got a problem. Immigration scandal, of course. Ban same-sex marriage. Is that why expenditures went down? Actually, no, we allowed it, so that might have given us something. Debt to GDP ratio is still growing, but deficit is shrinking, which is what matters. Game freaking threw a Molotov cocktail into our situation here. See, crime just jacked up and GDP went down. Unemployment's pretty bad now. Immigration scandal, okay, so that was the problem. So watch this. We're going to go back a couple of quarters here. Load game, we're going to go back to Q8. We're going to spend some of that political capital. See if we can keep the borders a bit more manageable now. We threw open the gates and it caused problems for us, unfortunately. Because apparently it caused unemployment to go up and crime. I don't know what happened to organized crime. I'm very curious to know what triggered that. Because the game doesn't tell you. Way to go. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Where's the border control? There it is. We're going to spend some political capital in the next turn fixing those border controls. I want to see how that works. I'm very curious to know how that works. Okay, credit rating downgraded, of course. Budget report. Deficit has gone down. Okay, we got it down to 96. Here's the thing. We're going to have to increase it a bit. So watch this. We're going to spend some of our political capital raising passport checks. We're doing passport checks. Yeah, watch this. $1 billion. Apply that. Okay, we had another tax, right? I think it was an airline tax. That was way too expensive. I already used there's the airline tax. Can't implement that. Won't get the money out of that. But it did reduce the deficit. Definitely reduced the deficit. How do we legalize pot? It's not listed here. Welfare. Economy. I'm pretty sure that one of these was about legalizing a particular drug. Yeah. Second. Wasn't an initiative. It was about, where's the weed? Here's the hemp right here. Welfare. Legalize drug consumption, but of course, don't know what the policy is that will allow us to implement that. Which one of these deals with addiction? Here we go. Narcotics. Here we go. Outlawed. Watch this. We can use all of our political capital to legalize cannabis, which is going to increase crime. We can spend a bunch of political capital by... Yep. We can spend a bunch of political capital taxing it. Let's see how that goes. We've used up our political capital already. So we closed the borders. Crime is back up. Yep. Poll numbers went down. Legalize narcotics. Where are the conservatives? There they are. Yeah, that took a dip to conservatives there. I guess the liberals liked it. Threw open the borders. That took a hit. Changes. Compass. Fine. So crime still went up, and it was probably because of the cannabis. Drug addiction. To legalizing cannabis, right off the bat. Right off the friggin' bat. I think it's so permanent as a temporary government program. Milton Friedman. Let's see. So deficit's about the same. Okay, let's legalize this stuff. We legalized it. Now let's tax it. Boom. Will give us a bit of money. Not popular, but hey, now there is crime. Youth poor, poverty, and reduce legal drug consumption. So increase poverty. Yeah, it's a regressive tax, as you would expect. We're not going to get that much money out of it. Okay, what's this? Ban animal testing. Ban in this day and age. No good reason to test any product on animals. Products are only tested on animals in order to ensure there's no chance of danger to humans. Ban it. Alright, next. 50-50 shot, I guess. Briefing against colleagues. They have biased academic groups. Unemployment's back up. GDP is down. The oil pipeline was attacked. In a neighboring country. Okay. Whatever. Economic forecast. Deficit is down. As are expenditures. Expenditures. Military spending is about the same, apparently. Alcohol abuse. Yeah, it's still pretty high. Okay. So we don't have the crime. So the crime still went up. And it apparently was because of... Crime dipped up a tiny bit. Unemployment's still pretty high. So, unemployment's going to continue to go up. There can't seem to be a way around it. GDP remains bad. It really tanked. It really, really tanked. Well, more people are voting for me, so I guess that counts for something. Let's see. Your deficit went down. We're making progress. A little, but progress. Okay. Polls. Numbers went up. So what was the big kicker? Because the economy is still tanking. I don't know why it went up. Where did it go up? Yeah, where did it go up the most? I don't know why it went up. I'm not complaining. Our numbers are pretty stable, to be brutally honest here. How are we going to spend this political capital? Garbage. Okay, so deficit's going to be fine. Next order of business, unemployment. I got nothing. Health is down, probably because of the illegal drug consumption. Okay, so let's pop in something that'll prove we're about to defend the deathly right to say it. That's a Voltaire special. So our poll numbers are going up, but unfortunately, GDP is going to be a bit of a problem. Didn't get a chance to read what Hillary Clinton just said. Okay. Achievements. Economic miracle, socialist paradise, green utopia, God's kingdom, egalitarian miracle, poverty eradicated. Holy crap. Good luck with that, bro. Hold that thought. If you created a breakaway country and created a country club, maybe that would eliminate poverty. You could also kill the poor, but let's not go that route. Airline tax. Boop. So that should eliminate the deficit. Probably going to kill us in every other way, but it's going to eliminate the deficit. We'll raise a lot of money up front, and then we're going to lose a bunch because people are going to stop flying, so we're going to lose that income eventually. But it's going to eliminate the deficits. Let's see how we do. Complicating the tax code, collaborating corruption, gerrymandering constituencies, making impossible promises, appointing friends to top jobs. Aha! We've identified a potentially serious plot by a number of wealthy industries to force the overthrow of the government. Plot seems to be in the early stages, and we are not in a position to make arrests yet, but it's clear that some capitalists consider it desirable to engineer a replacement for the current government. You should be cautious. Unemployment's up. Health is down. I blame cannabis. GDP. Well, it's not going... I think the recession just ended. Hold on, dude. I think the recession just ended. Holy crap. Unemployment still went up, though. Crime, stable. Crime is going back down. So legalizing cannabis helped. Of course, it didn't help our health ratings. Education, despite the cannabis, is going up. So that's been doing well. Poverty, it has stabilized. Probably because of the cannabis tax. See, election report. Not that. We're getting more of us and less of them. I guess that's what counts. The ethnic minorities don't like the clamps we put on immigration, apparently. Policies. Recreational drugs, not popular. Oh, the tax is not popular, as one would expect. We're making money, dude. Crime is way down. Quality is way up. Education is up. Poverty is down. Poor earnings are up, but everyone else's earnings are down. International trade is up. Oil demand is way down. We dropped oil demand by like 26%, dude. Environmentalists love us. Deficit went up a bit. Check those charts. Your income went down a bit. Probably because the economy is tanking. We managed to reduce the deficit quite a bit, I should say, so that's definitely worth something. Airline tax gave us a bit of money, but there are a bunch of other problems. Oh, look at unemployment go. Just look at unemployment go, dog. Homelessness is still way up. Yep, we're gonna have to find a way to get some housing. We're gonna have to invest some money in homeless shelters. That might be a decent way to spend some political capital, actually, because the deficit's low enough as is. It's probably as low as it's gonna get. So look at this. We're not getting any. Especially you. I need to fire you. Doing nothing for me. So what can we do for the homeless? Welfare. State housing. It will take 4 years to go into effect. But it will reduce homelessness. Other than that, I'm out of ideas here. Winter fuel subsidy. That's for the elderly mainly. State housing is going to be very expensive. Okay. Rural development grants. Yeah, prevent poverty among farmers. That might help. Organic farming subsidy? Still kind of expensive. How's the rural development? That's a bit cheaper. Ugh. That's a big hit to political capital, though. Recycling? Consumer rights? That's very expensive, all things considered. Clean energy subsidies. Agricultural subsidies. Those get pretty expensive. Safeguards jobs and votes in agricultural communities. That's pretty cynical. Let's see. Public services. Tax. Credits. Those are pretty expensive. School tax credits are pretty expensive too. Microgeneration grants. Graduate tax. That's a lot of political capital to spend on that. Microgen grants. Energy efficiency will increase the GDP, by the way, a little bit, but not a lot. Microgeneration grants it is. Where were they? Clean energy subsidies. They're a lot cheaper. Clean energy subsidies. Yep. It'll cost about 9 billion. We'll drop that a bit. Drop to 6. Apply. Let's continue. Wait, what's this? Software patents. Protect algorithms. Implement new technology. Allow software patents. Reject them until you risk use this type of competition. Yeah, let's make it a bit more. Let's reject the software patents for now. We'll probably take a dip to our tech, but it might make our economy a bit more competitive. I guess, I don't know. Patronizing the electorate, reticulating votes, setting up biased academic groups, and I've been assassinated by the capitalists. He's a high-tech sniper rifle when it appeared at an event to open a new school. All clues to the assassin being hired by a secret group known as the Battenberg Group, thought to be controlled by a number of hyper-wealthy capitalists. It seems you let your government get on the wrong side of some very powerful and rich men, and you pay the ultimate price. Remind me to turn off assassinations. Well, I'm dead. So, much like Abraham Lincoln, I took a stand to reduce racial tension and help the poor, and in exchange for my efforts, I got shot in the back of the head. To quote Jelani Cobb, or paraphrase Jelani Cobb. Democracy 3.